As a business owner or sales professional, if business isn't coming to you, you have two choices. You can either sink or you swim. And by swimming, we get out to the market and start doing some outbound prospecting. But if you're not sure what to do or how to do it or where to start, in this video, I'm going to share with you the key 8 things that you've got to put in place in order to be successful at outbound prospecting. My name's James White, small business sales expert, a man that loves getting on the phone and doing things to help make people aware of what we do and how we do it. Outbound prospecting is critical for my business. It's going to be critical for your business, I'm sure. Let's work out a plan to make sure you know how to do it in the right way that saves time and gets results. Let's have a look at the video. So outbound prospecting is one of these things that sometimes fills people with dread. They say, oh, the thought of being able to go out to someone I don't know and talk about who I am and what I do or what our company does, no, that's not going to work. It's not going to be a good, efficient use of time. We'll wait for the leads to come in, James. And then a couple of months go by, and tumbleweed, and the leads aren't coming in the way you want them to. So the reality is, as I say to people when I do training courses with them, if your ship doesn't come in, you've got to swim out to it. So the reality is, if you want to hit the targets and goals and get your business booming where you want it to be, you've got to have a focused outbound prospecting approach. So what are the key things you need to put in place? Point number 1 is this: persona. You have to know the target persona of your client that you're trying to engage with. And it doesn't mean to say this has to be the persona you use for every service and element you do, but we want to have in mind an ideal customer that we can target and work with, that we can actually know who that person is, and we want to give that person a name. When we're doing outbound prospecting, we want to look at who we're focusing on, and we want to have an idea of who that person is, the common demographics and psychographics of that person. If you go after everyone and anything in outbound prospecting, you will waste time and be ignored. But if you identify a persona of someone that's perfect for you and your service and what you do, what you're able then to do is start talking about the problems they have, which leads me on nicely to point number 2. Point number 2, the problems. When you identify the persona that you're after and the type of person, whether it's maybe an IT director or a HR director or a CEO or a business owner or whatever that person is, and you create a persona, and by the way, I'm going to give you access to a persona that I've used in my business, which you can get and use for yourself, and how to create that persona. You can also then start to get in the mind of the other person and identify the problems they have. Outbound prospecting, which starts with, by the way, we're trying to sell our stuff, doesn't work. But if you start to make contact through different methods to talk to the persona about the problems and challenges that are going on in their industry and in their world and in their day-to-day life, then I'm going to tell you that you are going to provoke and create intrigue and interest. They're going to maybe not buy into you straight away. They're going to have some questions and challenges and things around what you've done, but they are going to start to think, okay, that's quite interesting. I do have that problem. And they seem to understand me, and they seem to know who I am, and they know my problems. Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on those guys. That looks quite interesting. When we focus on the problems of our audience and are relevant to them, better things happen. So a key task for you to do there, write down the top 10 to 20 problems that your audience, your persona has. What are the issues they've got? What are the things that cause them to go, and get in their way and cause headaches and cause them to get frustrated and all those emotional things that stop them from doing what they want to do? Write down those problems, know what they are for that persona, and it's the starting building blocks of a brilliant outbound prospecting campaign. So the third point is this: what's your method for engaging with that audience? What do I mean by a method? So sometimes I speak to sales teams and they say to me, yeah, well, I've done some outbound prospecting and it didn't work. And I say, okay, tell me a bit more about what you did. And they say, oh, we tried a couple of phone calls and they didn't want to answer us. Okay, so you just tried one phone call? Yeah, we tried a couple of phone calls. Okay, right, and what did you do after that? And how long did you carry that on for? Oh, we didn't, just didn't work. The reality is outbound prospecting is not going to be an instant click your fingers and they're going to buy from you type of conversation. You've got to have a method that maybe lasts 2, 3, 4 months to engage with that audience. We're going to talk about the media and how you engage in a moment, but the method is actually having a framework or process that says, on day 1 of week 1, I'm going to do this. Day 4, I'm going to do this. Day 7, I'm going to do this. At the Small Business Sales Academy, we specialise in helping business owners create the method and the blueprint to be able to engage and do outbound prospecting. And that can be across a number of different methods, but we absolutely know what's going to happen at certain days and times in order to make sure we're engaging with our audience and the problems they've got. Don't expect outbound prospecting to work if you try one phone call or try one email or a social media connection and then it doesn't happen. You've got to build a method, maybe over a period, especially if you're selling a service, over maybe 3 to 6 months, that can add value, that can gain you insight and input into the people that you're trying to work with. And if you focus on doing that and focus on being able to create value to support those people over a period of time through a framework and method, good things happen. So point number 4 is multiple media. By the way, there's a brilliant research article I'm going to share a link to called Google's 0 Moments of Truth. And what Google identified a number of years ago is that it takes 7 hours of content across 11 interactions across 4 different media before someone feels comfortable to want to work with you. 7, 11, 4. So if you think about that, that's a lot. That's why I do a lot of videos. If you want to start getting comfortable about getting people to see who you are and what you do, you've got to be visible across multiple media. There are 4 main media you can use for outbound prospecting. The first is email, where you can send people emails, and there's a method and a way of doing that. I encourage you to not focus on you and what you do, but use the words you and your and be selfless in your communications to start with. But outbound email is one of them. Outbound social is the other key factor that works. Direct messages to people on LinkedIn, or maybe doing some other elements around a LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook strategy. Social media is another great method to use. The third method to use, which is sadly has been lost a little bit in the marketplace, but is still incredibly powerful, is direct mail. Sending people a card or a specific activity you can do that can make them be aware of who you are and what your company is a great way of reaching out to people. And the fourth method, of course, is picking up the phone, speaking to someone. Nothing beats speaking to someone. And those 4 media, along with the marketing and the branding that you have for your company, will all contribute to someone being aware of you that previously wasn't. But you've got to use all 4. We want to create the right method with the right media to gain access to our target audience. And what you'll see across all of these areas, if we continue to provide value and insights and share ideas with the audience based upon the problems they've got and try and help them, people will start to resonate with what you do and will start to hopefully be encouraged to have meetings and discussions and hopefully do business with you. Multiple media is really essential. Look at email, look at social media, look at direct mail, and look at the way in which you call and reach out to people and build a plan around how you can make those 4 methods work for you over a period of time to reach out and make people aware of what you do and hopefully get them to bite, have a meeting with you, have a discussion, carry the conversation on. The reality is there's no guarantee of success, but if you use those 4 methods in the right way, you can get results. By the way, want a bit of help in this area? Let us know. My team at the Small Business Sales Academy loves specialising in helping people create the right methods and communications in this area to get brilliant results. We'll put a link in the video underneath to reach out to us, and if we can help your team do that, we'd love to. Point number 5 is this: you've got to prepare. Outbound prospecting campaigns that fail are ones that haven't had any preparation. We've got to prepare to know what this campaign is going to look like over a period of time, and we've got to put the right infrastructure and structures in place to get the results we want. If we prepare and do it effectively and know what we're going to do at the right time, and we prepare for the type of reaction we're going to get, and we prepare for the type of response that people might give or the feelings that we might have, we can overcome those. But if we just try and do it on an ad hoc basis, we will fail. So if you want to be successful at outbound prospecting, look at how you can prepare and approach a plan that can get you the right results. It can be done, and when it's done effectively, it gets brilliant results. I helped one of my clients in sold commercial laundry equipment achieve significant success over a 2-year period by building a persona, by identifying the problems of the audience, and then building a method and preparing a plan that could get them where they wanted to be. Benjamin Franklin said it: if you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail. And no one wants to be in a position where you put all this time and effort into doing great outbound work, maybe at lots of time and investment and cost of people resource, to then not get the results. Make sure you're preparing the right way. Know what's going to happen, when and how. Prepare for the reaction you're going to get. Prepare your team for what this is going to look like. Put some metrics in place to know what success is, and let's make sure that in that preparation, we've got a really good method to go and deliver a great campaign that gets results. So point number 6 when it comes to outbound prospecting is this word here: practice. By the way, I love my golf. Do you think that Tiger Woods, or I don't know, any of the best golfers in the world, Rory McIlroy, just stand up on the tee and got all their results by just being able to stand there and just do it. Or maybe the best piano player in the world or the best artist. Did they achieve their success by just turning up and doing it? Probably not, right? Most of them will focus on practice. They understand that in order to get great results at the heat of the game or the battle or when it really matters, they've got to practice and prepare to get that success. And outbound prospecting is no different. How many times, if you're going to do an outbound prospecting campaign, do your sales team practice with each other on a role play? Or do they practice with you as their manager to be able to know how a reaction they might get from a customer or prospect when someone says they're not interested, or when someone says no thanks, or no, we're already covered at the moment, or we already have a supplier? Do they then go, oh, I don't know what to say? Or have they practiced a prepared statement to be able to use that says, hey, I totally understand that. I didn't expect you not to have a supplier, but blah, blah, blah. We've got to be in a position to practice. When we practice, it trains our brains to feel comfortable then when it comes to the real thing. So if you want to be successful outbound prospecting, make time to practice. My golf game's not as good as it should be because I don't practice enough. The professionals practice, they regularly do that so they can deliver great results when the time comes. Make sure if you want to be successful outbound prospecting, you've practiced how you say stuff and what you do and what reaction you get. If you do that, you increase your chance of success. So the seventh point around outbound prospecting is mindset. So many people's mindset around prospecting is, oh, well, I'm worried, what happens if I disturb someone, or oh, what happens if I speak to someone and they tell me they don't want to speak to me, and oh, it's going to hurt my feelings, and blah, 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 blah. So many people have these feelings that they get their mindset in the wrong place. If our mindset's in the right place, we stand a far better chance of getting the result that we want. So what does that mindset look like? It's not to say we want to feel happy at getting rejected, but it's about being able to say that if we do get rejected, it's not personal to us. They don't personally dislike James White. It's just at the moment, it's maybe the wrong time. Or maybe I've not asked them a question that's relevant enough for them. Or maybe they just don't have that issue right now. Or maybe the defenses are up because they want to be sold to. The reality is the mindset of anyone doing outbound prospecting is critical. You've got to accept that you're going to have to kiss a few frogs to get some princes or princesses. It does take a bit of work, it does take a bit of time, but results come when you do the work. And if you get your mind trained to focus on doing the work and taking the action, then you're going to be in a far better position to then deal with the consequences of that. You don't get a six-pack, I don't know for sure, without doing the work. Get your mindset focused on doing the activity in a positive way, not seeing the rejection as personal, not worrying about people that you don't know and what they think to you if you pick up the phone, but focusing on what you can do to try and get the right result. I guarantee you that if you keep focused on a positive mindset and making the next call or the next email or the next outreach one that's going to get a result, you increase your chance of success. And you never know. If you focused on the audience and the problems they've got and are prepared in the right way, then what you're doing is hopefully helping them solve an issue. And as I mentioned, if it's relevant, if it's focused on them, and if it's useful where you show value, they're going to want to engage because you're going to help them solve an issue they have. And who wants to carry on having problems in life and not know where to solve them? Great sales teams and great businesses know their audience, they outbound prospect to them, they get in the mindset to think it's their duty to help and support, not just to sell. That mindset gets brilliant results. Try and focus on it and it will help you with the campaigns you're looking at. And my eighth and final point about outbound prospecting is your diary. So many people say, yeah, I'm going to do something, and then they don't put it in the diary. They just say it's something they want to do, but they don't put time in their diary, they don't book time and then commit to doing that activity. It's easier to go and make a coffee or make a phone call to someone or have a quick look on social media rather than saying from 10 till 11, I'm going to do outbound prospecting and I'm going to put a timer on my phone, I'm going to remove other distractions and I'm not going to do anything else until I do that for 1 hour. And if you get into the habit of doing that outbound prospecting with the elements that we've talked about daily for an hour every day, you may not see the results after 2 or 3 days, but 30 days you'll start to see the impact of the work you're doing. The amount of people you're calling, the amount of people you're reaching out to on email in the right way, the amount of people that you're sending messages to, things will start to flow. It does take time. When you see workmen that have got maybe something on a tyre that's not, when they're trying to get a screw off the tyre, it doesn't work straight away when they do it, but actually if they keep persevering and keep putting effort in, the results happen. Eventually it starts to move. Outbound prospecting is no different. We've got to put the work in, we've got to diarise the time, and if we do that, results start to eventually happen and we start to see momentum, and when momentum happens, great things occur. So my biggest advice for you is put an hour in your diary every day for prospecting. Put that time aside, commit to doing it. Make sure you make the calls, the emails, the activity based upon the method that we talk about and put in place. And if we do that, results will start to flow. But this method of knowing your audience, knowing their problems, having a method, reaching out to them across multiple media, preparing to get success, practicing what you're going to say, getting the right mindset in place, and then diarising time will get you success with outbound prospecting. If it doesn't, reach out to me, tell me, James, you know nothing about this stuff, it hasn't worked. But I promise you, if you do take the approach I've said here, you can stand a great chance of getting incredible results and taking you and your company, your business and your career to where you want it to go. Outbound prospecting is still alive. It's still a great method and way to get people that don't know about you aware of who you are. And as I said at the start, if you've got a number to hit and your inbound leads aren't coming through, you have two options. You fail or you go and make the target happen. Outbound prospecting is a brilliant way to do that. Put in place this plan and action and you're going to get incredible results. If you've enjoyed the video, put in the comment section below what you loved about it. What's this done to help you? What are the resources that maybe you would find useful that I can provide to you to help you put an outbound prospecting campaign in place? The reality is this campaign will work, but let me know what you've tried to get the results that you want to achieve. And if you've got comments, you want to reach out to me on social media, connect with me at James White Sales on Instagram or in my Facebook group or LinkedIn, and I'll give you support to help you achieve results. But the reality is, put this in place and we're on a great path to success. Thanks for watching the video. Like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get other business owners and sales professionals everywhere knowing how to outbound prospect in the right way, and we're going to make success happen for everyone over the coming months and years. Thanks for watching. See you next Saturday for another video.